This is rowrah Kart Circuit. We're on our way to the craziest track I've ever seen. Wait a sec, whose kart was that? Yes, if you don't already know, my dad has joined the GX UK Pro Karts grid for his very first owner-driver weekend. My dad is running 2 unrestricted GX 200s, so he's got a bit more than double the horsepower of me. Here we go into Friday practice. As usual, nothing much happened. I had one wet session, or somewhat wet. It started raining a tiny bit, but because we're always on slicks, any rain just makes it so there's no grip. Then coming into the third hairpin, I tried to slow down, but I instantly lock up and have a very close call with the barrier. But I was not the only one off track. There were so many incidents on this session, it was crazy. So on Friday, I wasn't that quick. I was only doing 59s, which is pretty much mid-pack. But on Saturday, that changed. Quite a bit happened on Saturday practice. The first few sessions were quite damp, so they weren't very fast. Then in the middle of the day, there was a massive crash and a red flag, but everyone was okay. And then after that, I had an amazing session. Annoyingly, I didn't film all the sessions, and this is the only session I got of Saturday. But in the 5th session, I was 9th fastest and the fastest novice of that session, and I did a 57.76. I was very happy about that lap time because I was only about 6/10 off the fastest people of the weekend. Here we go into Heat 1. Annoyingly, the camera filmed vertical, so I've done my best to try to make it look normal, but it still doesn't look the best. I get a terrible start and number 71 comes down my inside into turn 1. Then coming into turn 1, I try to avoid all the incidents, and there's a couple people spinning, and for some reason I get a terrible exit. Coming into the second hairpin, I hold my line round the outside to get the best exit and try and make a move into the third hairpin. Annoyingly, I don't brake late enough, so he holds his position. Then someone spins and I gain 2 positions from it. A lap later, number 71 overtakes number 68, and I try to follow him through, and I'm alongside under braking, but I don't brake late enough, and we have a bit of contact. After that, I let him pass in case they gave me a penalty, but then number 21 tries to follow him past. I hold my line, but we go too wide through the second chicane, and he gains the position. But a bit later, number 21 goes completely wide on the last corner, and I gain the position from that. A lap later I catch back up to 68 and focus on getting the best exit, and I overtake him on the exit. Unfortunately, coming down the hill, I touch a bit of grass under braking and lock up and spin. Then a lap later I catch straight back up to 54. I go for a move down the inside. I'm fully alongside under braking, and again I lose a bit under braking, but I get a better exit and a better run into the third hairpin. Coming into the third hairpin, I get a massive hit from behind. Then the next lap I do the same move and it works. That was heat 1. Started 33rd and ended up 31st. Here we go into heat 2. I'm starting 26th, so hopefully I can gain a few positions. Coming out of the last corner, I get a pretty good start compared to my others. Coming into turn 1, 71 overtakes me down the inside again, and this time I'm going to try and follow him through the pack. Luckily I choose to go around the outside, which helps me avoid the incident that happened on the inside. But from that I lose 2 positions and I gain 1 back into the second hairpin. And then there's another incident where I gain 3 positions. Then a couple laps later, I catch straight up to 98 and get an amazing run into turn 1. We go too wide, but luckily he backs out. Then into the next corner, someone dive bombs me from a mile away, so I have to avoid him. Then into the second hairpin, something happens. I lost 5 positions from that, and my Nassau panel got bent to the side. Luckily I didn't get black and orange flagged. Then a bit later you can see on the right there was a massive incident, and a couple carts went in the air again. Luckily everyone's okay, but luckily for me, the black and yellow flag came out, which means everyone follows the leader slowly, so it allowed me to catch up and get back in the battle. And this is when it's about to go green. Coming into this corner, I take my normal line, which is really wide, but 2 people come through. Luckily for me, later on the lap, number 16 holds back number 32 and I overtake both of them in one corner. Then number 32 overtakes me into the last corner and signals for us to work together. Then 32 overtakes 57 into the last corner. I get an alright run and I need to go for a move this lap because it's the last lap. Then I go for a move into the first hairpin. I brake a bit later than I normally do, but I don't get a good exit and lose out on the exit. And into turn 2, I'm really far back and I get an amazing exit and do the overtake on the straight. So that was heat 2. I started 26th, gained loads of positions, crashed, then ended up 22nd. So it was an okay heat for me. In Heat 3, my camera footage corrupted, so I don't have any footage, but I started 28th. I worked my way up the field to 19th. Then there were 2 karts wide on the straight, and I went down the inside, making it 3 wide, and the kart in the middle tapped my rear wheel, bounced off, and then hit the kart on the outside. Both of them had a little slide. I gained 2 positions from it. I would say it was just a racing incident, but for some reason I got a 5-place grid penalty for an unfair advantage, even though an unfair advantage is a 3-place grid penalty. But it is what it is, and I just had to deal with it and focus for the final. After watching some of my dad's races, I went out for the final. Here we go, into the final. I'm starting 28th, so hopefully we can get a good start and gain some positions on the first lap. As usual, I don't get the best start. 91 has a massive moment, nearly taking out 68. Those two have contact again. I nearly get along 81, but back out. Coming into the first hairpin, 54 comes round the outside, so I've lost 1 position so far. Coming into the second hairpin, 2 people try to overtake me down the inside, but I slingshot round the outside and overtake them both back on the straight. Coming into the third hairpin, I gain loads on 54, but I don't go for a move. I focus on getting the best exit to see if I can get a move done down the hill. I look for a move, but I'm too far back. Unfortunately, we got another kart down the inside. He gets the move done. Then a bit later, someone has a moment coming out of the last corner. I try to take advantage of this, but I think I'm too far back. And I was. And there's a very close call there. I focus on getting the best exit so I can go for a move, but there's a yellow flag, so I can't. But then I get a good exit and a great run into the second hairpin.
Good move, Ada. Nice.
Then a bit later there's a yellow flag, and coming out of the yellow flag he does some weird drift thing, so I gain loads and pretty much overtake him on the straight. Now all I need to do is put my head down and put some flying laps in. And in less than 1 lap I had created a massive gap, so I could literally just drive as fast as I can without worrying about being overtaken. Then coming up the Karting rowrah, I have the scariest moment I've had on this track. Now all I need to do is just keep it on track. And as my dad said,
Aiden's got himself into his own little race here.
I was pretty much just trying to drive faster and faster every lap, hopefully catching the people ahead. After some really quick laps, I was gaining on them really fast, but will it be enough to get past before the end of the race? It wasn't enough but that was still one of my best finals of the year. P19. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you want to get some amazing looking 3D printed go-kart parts and support my new business and this YouTube channel, go check out AJ Kart Parts. Video linked in description.